Just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the pieces here that go into that, to kind of give a little more fine-grained understanding of tuition revenue and the drivers and the pieces that go into that. So we're talking about both the cost of the tuition, we're talking about the room and board. That is obviously directly impacted by headcount. It's impacted by the types of students. Some of us have graduate programs, for example, for us. Some of us don't. Some of us have more or fewer part-time students and how they impact things. Some of us have the second category, non-degree seeking, special status students. Some of us have a program, I'm thinking here, for example, give you an instance, at Lawrence, for example, they have a program with Waseda University bringing in one-year students into the college. They're a very important revenue stream for that. For there, others of us have no such students in our program, so that's a different sort of makeup of the revenue piece. And we talked a lot this morning about the sticker price, and then, of course, the impact of financial aid, the discount that's offsetting that, which gives us the net price. Just to clarify a few terms that you'll hear talked about, you often hear people refer to the comprehensive fee, and that's sort of all in the sticker price of everything. So that would be the gross tuition, room, board, activity fees. That's the sort of biggest sticker price, that's posted on the website that people see when they're complaining about the expenses of coming to places like us. As we talked this morning, obviously that's not what, at some of our institutions, almost anybody pays. If you're giving aid out to 95, 97% of the students, as Scott was talking about, this applies to a tiny, tiny fraction of the numbers of students. So gross tuition, sticker price, discount, the amount that sticker price is reduced by the institution through an institutional choice to not take in revenue. And then the net tuition figure that we've been talking about. So let's talk a little bit more about financial aid, because sometimes when we talk about financial aid, we're talking at cross purposes and what we actually are grouping under that term of financial aid. I mean, what are the components of financial aid? And it's important, I think, to be clear that we need to distinguish between institutional gift aid and everything else. So there's institutional gift aid, that might be, and I'll talk more about this in a moment, that might be where you have an endowed fund for a student scholarship for a needy student who's an economics major. And some student every year gets designated that, and they get some need-based aid coming from that. And that's a funded scholarship, and that's an institutionally provided scholarship. And then there are other students who get gift aid that there is no endowed fund supporting it. That's unfunded aid. There's no endowment, but it's still an institutional gift aid, as opposed to federal or state or private grants, local foundations. I mean, my son got a tiny little scholarship from some local music organization when he went off to study music. That would fall into this category. Loans, whether it be from the federal government, whether it be the parents take them out. Some of you may be well familiar with PLUS loans and all of that. Or work study. The important thing here, federal work study, the federal government funnels funds to the institution to help fund that. The important thing about the last 3 points is that is all revenue that the institution actually gets. It comes in. So it's not counted in the discount rate. Discount rate is only institutionally generated support.